It wasn't until recently that I learned how to answer the question, what do you do? It's not a question I like, and I felt it was really tough to just sum it up because what I do doesn't matter. I don't have a career per se, I have a lifestyle. And in that lifestyle, I make decisions that reflect my goals and support my goals. And a lot of people misunderstand this. They see it as this kind of lackluster approach to life, like you're being lazy or you're being, unmotivated to get something done. But the reality is, I'm completely organized. I know what I'm doing. I don't have a traditional career, so I don't have that 3-word answer to what it is I'm doing that people expect. And just because I don't have that traditional career doesn't mean I'm not capable of having one. I've done it, right? I've been there. I've worked in Boston. I've taught. I've done plenty of things that would demonstrate to me at this point if I want to keep chasing that path. And it's not what I want to do because it's not flexible. It doesn't give me the option to pursue the things I actually want to do on a regular basis. And that's for both personal and financial ventures. It locks me into place and it keeps me in this pattern that I just have to settle into and figure it out. And it's not for me. The reality is I haven't figured out what I'm doing, right? I've got that plan. It works for me. I know what I do every day in terms of income. But more importantly, I know why I do it, right? I'm not doing this just to say I've got a career. I'm doing this because I'm building something. And I want to see my income support that. Just because I'm not supporting the expectations of society by a traditional 9-to-5 career doesn't mean I have any less professionalism. And that's something I struggled with for a long time, thinking that just because I wasn't going to an office for 8 hours a day or a business for 8 hours a day, that I wasn't doing the professional thing. But the reality is there was more to this than I thought. There's this concept in financial planning called the 7 streams. And what it does is it breaks down how you can manage your income. And the best method is having multiple facets of your income. So you have diversification, just like you would have in your portfolio. So the 7 streams are earned, business, dividend, interest, real estate or rental, capital gains, and royalties. And they each kind of function a slightly different way. Your earned income is what you're doing for your salary on a regular basis. Your business income are your side hustles. Your dividends are coming from stocks and portfolios that share back profits at the end of the year. Your interest, banks. For me, it's a lot of that is crypto staking, right? Like I don't get a great interest rate at my bank. It's just how it works. But I stake in crypto. I'm building interest off what I'm doing. Rental property, well, that one's self-explanatory. Capital gains, things you're selling, your assets that you're selling that make money. And then royalties, and that's more of a creative one. Your YouTube channels, music, social media, things like that you're building constant royalties off of. And this is something I do. I have multiple streams of income. I support myself through different channels. And I find that works best for what it is that I want to do in life. That's not how everyone sees it, and that's fine, you don't have to. But I found personally that 4 things really come into play when you're trying to manage multiple streams of income. So I have a variety of tasks that I achieve and complete every day, right? I run construction. I have a small business that runs mobile bike repairs. I have a production company. I do film and photography. I write. I would call myself a filmmaker to an extent, right? And I don't have unlimited resources in terms of what I'm doing. So I found flexibility, fluidity, agility, and efficiency are the 4 most important things for me to get stuff done. Flexibility. On a large scale, what is it you're doing? How fast can you see a situation and respond to it and adapt, right? You show up to someone's house. All right, we're not building a garage today. We're actually doing a bathroom. It's a completely different set of stuff you would need, but you have to be flexible enough to get to it. Fluidity. You can't waste time going from task to task. The more time you waste doing that, the less efficient you are, the less profitable you are. Fluidity is the ability to just shift seamlessly, right? Sometimes in the morning, I'll be on someone's roof flashing a chimney. Then in the afternoon, I'm at a house fixing a bike. Then later on, I'm editing a video. If I don't have a good method to get between those tasks, I'm wasting time. And ultimately, I'm wasting money. It's just stupid. Agility. Agility is your competitive edge. What are you doing to stay current? What are you doing to constantly be on top of your game and build yourself better? And efficiency. Efficiency is the obvious one. You have to be efficient. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know the best way to complete it, right? Efficiency is one of those things I've always been obsessed with. I love looking at a task and being able to break it down, understand how long it's going to take me. What am I going to need for it? How can I proceduralize this? Which I think I just made that word up. But how can I do that? How can I turn this into a procedure and understand how to become more efficient at the task? This goes into time management, because ultimately, if you show up to someone's house and you're looking at a job they have spec'd out for you, you have to know how long it's going to take you so you know how to bill appropriately. And time is the most important piece of that. You never want to lose money on your own time. I learned this the hard way. Time is our greatest asset because it's not replaceable. It's yours. You can spend it the way you want to. You can invest it the way you want to. No one can take it and use it without your consent. Having said that, we tend to waste a lot of time. And I definitely did this. I spent a good portion of the last couple of years surrounding myself with the wrong type of people. People that settled for mediocrity. That's not what I'm about. I can't stand it. And they saw what I was doing on a surface level. They didn't understand it. They didn't see the big picture. All they saw was, I'm kind of flaky, right? That's not what it was. I was looking at situations and learning how to optimize and adapt to them and be entrepreneurial and move myself around so that I could get the best results, ultimately. They were chasing things that I wasn't interested in. Theirs was more materialistic, and they wanted all of us to be in the same position so that we could do stuff together, so we could travel, go out to dinner, schmooze, do all that stuff that everyone does in life. That's not what I'm here for. That's not part of my plan right now. And they didn't see that, and that's okay. They only saw the tip of the iceberg. They thought that I wasn't building a career, and that I was just doing a plethora of other tasks. And they weren't wrong. I'm not building a career. I'm building a brand. I'm building what I call the Benpire. I only call it that because Empire and Ben works really well together. At this point, I still haven't told you what it is I actually do. I've told you some of the stuff I do in my daily life, but that's not what I actually do. That's not why I do it. I'm a content creator. I'm a writer. I'm creating a pilot series for streaming platforms. All the other stuff are just little steps to get me there. Building the brand, building the business, adding to my asset collection of what I'm capable of doing. Whenever you tell someone you're developing a TV series or a movie or whatever it is, their first reaction is always, isn't that impossible? Or, who does that? Unless you're like Tom fucking Hanks, nobody wants to hear it. The reality is it's not impossible. Other people have done it. I know it's not impossible because I'm doing it. I can be in this process and understand what's going on and how to get to the next step. It seems impossible to other people because they haven't tried. Anybody can talk the game, but not everyone can do the game, right? Saying it isn't enough. We're all capable of anything we put our minds to. Our greatest limitation is thinking that there's a limit, right? The only limitation that we have is thinking of what we're capable of. If you don't believe me, it's your prerogative. However, I'll challenge it with this. Richard Branson, the man that started the Virgin Group. Virgin started off in the 70s as a mail order record store company. They progressed through the next 40 years into different chapters of the business. Virgin Mobile, he opened airlines. They did a bunch of stuff. Would anyone have ever thought that a mail order record store from the 70s would be the first brand to achieve pedestrian space travel? Probably not. But the reality is he thought about it, and he realized if you think about it, it's possible. You just have to start doing it, and you'll figure out how to do it on the way. You can do whatever you want. You just have to do it. Don't accept mediocrity. Go get what you want. At this point, Loki's here. The only limitation we have is thinking. The only limitation that we have is thinking of what we're capable of. The only limitation that never really came out the way I wanted it to. And I realized what I wanted was natural feels. Whoa, don't want to say that.